Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am going to cover a poem titled My Mother at 66 by Kamala Das. I will be explaining this poem to you, and the topics that I will cover are the introduction of the poem, summary, theme, and the literary devices used in the poem. So without any further ado, let's just begin. So first we will begin with the introduction. This poem, My Mother at 66, reflects the sensitivity of the writer, that is Kamala Das, as she tries to understand the complexities of human relationships and explores the pain and agony of her old mother. The poem gives the message that aging is a natural process and it is inevitable. In our young days, we are so busy to fulfill our own dreams and desires that we forget that we have elderly parents to look after. The poet sees her mother dozing in the car by her side, and she looks almost like a dead body. For once, the poet wants to stay back and share her mother's loneliness. The mother's pale and colorless face arouses the emotions of the poet, but she cannot stay on. She accepts that her mother is aging as it is a natural process, and she continues with her journey, trying to hide the guilt under her sweet smile. Such is the complexity of our life that we have to forego one relationship for another due to certain demands and commitments of our own life. That was the introduction. Now we'll start with the summary of the poem. The poet's visit to her old mother has now come to an end, and now she has to go back to her own house. So she is going to Cochin in a car to take a flight home from there, and her 66-year-old mother accompanies her to the airport. On the way, the mother dozes off, and the poet looks at her intensely. The mother's pale and loosely wide open mouth looks as lifeless as a dead body. It is a clear expression of the pain that was born out of her fears. Unable to see at her mother's deathly pale face, the poet looks outside the window of the car in order to distract herself. When she looks out of the window, she sees two things. The first thing is young trees moving past her. Like when we sit in a car, we feel like everything is leaving behind. So that is the first thing she sees. And the second thing is that she sees children coming out to play. This sight makes her think about old age and inevitable decay of human life, especially her mother's. The fear about her mother being so ill and being dead really upsets and grieves the poet. When she reaches the airport and the security check is done, once again she glances at her mother's pale face, which resembles the winter's moon as it is foggy and misty. The narrator's childhood fear of leaving her mother alone and unattended scares her once again. The poet says the words, "See you soon, Amma," and these words seem ironical to herself because she does not know how soon could she come to meet her mother again and whether her mother would be alive for that long. However, she hides all her worries and anxieties under a sweet long smile and bids her mother a cheerful goodbye. That was the summary, and now we move on towards the theme of the poem. Kamala Das had a very close relationship with her mother, and one of the many childhood fears of Kamala was that she would be separated from her mother and she would die. So this feeling made her insecure and worried. The poem My Mother at 66 has bring out Kamala's views on inevitable aging, decay, and ultimate death. She realizes how much her mother and she herself have aged when she sees trees sprinting and merry children coming out of their homes. Although she is painfully aware that her mother is lonely and she does not have long to live, she finds it hard to confess it to her, and she wishes to see her mother again and bids her goodbye with a hollow smile. Her smile is a reflection of her inner guilt, for she cannot be by her mother's side. That was all for the theme. Now we move on to the literary devices. So the first one is simile. We know that if a sentence or a phrase contains the word as or like, then it is called as simile, which basically shows comparison between two things. So the first example is her face ashen like that of a corpse, which basically means that her pale face is compared to a dead body. The second example is pale as a late winter's moon, where again her pale face is compared to a winter's moon, which is dull, foggy and misty. The next literary device is repetition. The first example is thought away, and the second example is smile and smile and smile. As you can see, the words thought away and smile are repeated. So the literary device is repetition. So that was it for today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, then do not forget to subscribe my channel. I'll see you next time with another video. Until then, take care. Bye.